This video is going to be all about summarizing. I wanted to make a video about this amazing comprehension strategy because I think it's very effective. So here it is. I'll also be sharing a strategy for a simple summary sentence too. So first of all, what is a summary? A summary is a brief description of the most important aspects of something. It could be a book, a movie, a television show, what you did this morning, whatever. It just means that it's a condensed version, including only the most important things. And summarizing can be a difficult skill for some kids to master because there's just a lot of prerequisite things that have to be in place before they can truly master this concept. Some of the things that they're going to need to know in order to be able to summarize effectively are going to be able to understand the content, number one, so whatever topic it is that they're reading about. And in order to do that, they're going to need to at least have some background knowledge on the topic. They'll also have to be able to synthesize the information and differentiate between what's important and what's not. So what to leave in their summary and what to take out. They've also got to be able to paraphrase or say things in their own words, not just take the author's word for word instead of using their own words. Also, there are different types of summaries for the different genres of text. So for stories with a beginning, middle, and end, you might construct your summary different than for nonfiction with main idea and supporting details. So they need to be able to tell what genre they're reading too. So if this seems like a lot, it is, but there are things that you can do to help guide your child to get them to succeed with this strategy. If you're ready to work on summarizing with your child, the key really is to start small in bite-sized chunks. So today I'm going to be showing you how to write a summary sentence. So this is just one sentence based off of a short or medium-sized paragraph. Also, it's important to remember that when you're reading, it's a good thing to ask your child to tell you what they remember from what they're reading. Always require them to do this. Just let them retell everything. You're not necessarily analyzing the important versus unimportant yet. You're just making sure they have a basic surface level of understanding. If they don't have this, they're not going to be ready to summarize. If they don't understand the basic concept of what you're reading, you could always try to break it down a little bit more, try visualizing strategies or talking about what you see when you read or drawing pictures. But if they are ready, after you read the short section of text, ask your child to answer this question. Who or what was the paragraph about? That's the first question. So they should be able to tell you who or what that paragraph is about. The next question you're going to ask is, what did this person or thing do? Or what will they do? So right there, you already have the basis for the most important aspects of your summary sentence, the who and what they did. So the who or the what and what they did. Basically your subject and your verb. From here, they can elaborate a little bit more and include some of the more important details. So you could ask follow-up questions such as when, where, and why. After answering these questions, your child should be able to name the most important aspects of what he or she read and put the answers to those questions into a summary sentence, which is essentially the most important part of that section or passage. And it's important to remember that you might not have an answer to every question, but you should be able to at least determine the who or the what of that section and what that person or thing did. So I'm going to read you a little bit from an example from a nonfiction text about Johnny Appleseed, and I'm going to model how I would answer these questions with a student. So the passage says, Johnny Appleseed lived long ago. He was born in 1774. His real name was John Chapman. He was famous for planting apple trees. Some stories claim that he spread seeds all around, but Johnny knew a lot about trees. He knew where they should grow. He set up nurseries. These are places for trees to grow. The trees were sold to people. Then people planted the trees on their land. Johnny wanted the trees to grow over large areas of land because he wanted to protect things in nature. So after I read this story and make sure that I understand everything that's going on, In the story, I would go on to answer those questions. Who is the story about? Johnny Appleseed. What did Johnny Appleseed do? He planted trees. When did he do this? In the 1700s. And why did he do this? Because he wanted to protect things in nature. So when I'm constructing my summary sentence, I would say, in the 1700s, Johnny Appleseed planted apple trees all around because he wanted to protect things in nature. And that is just one sentence of one section of a nonfiction passage. So I could go on and do that for the other sections of the passage as I continue reading. And then by the very end of the passage, I've got a bunch of sentences that kind of summarize each section of the passage, which is going to help me internalize the content and be better able to remember it later. So that's just one summary strategy. There's plenty more, but I wanted to just highlight the importance of this skill because it is a very important skill. It is highly effective at helping students to remember what they learned long term and retain the information. And it's just a good overall skill to have because we summarize every day in our everyday lives and in every subject. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you can try the strategy out. Let me know how it goes. And if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe.